Hi, my name is Deldrick Como, and this is the company analysis for American Express assignment for the business strategy course here at the University of Houston downtown. Professor Anand Poor is our instructor. Team members to include myself again, Deldrick Como, a management major. It also includes Herlin Valencia and then Zenaida Cuerlo. We all split the work evenly for this company analysis. Myself included the introduction here that you're going to see, the concept section, portion of the concept sections I will cover, and then Zenaida will pick up the concept section as well, followed by an inclusion of the vision statement, mission statement, and SWOT analysis. And then Herlin is going to go on to talk more about American Express's strategy and which direction they're headed in as a company. Let's go ahead and get started with the presentation. So an introduction to American Express. American Express was founded in Buffalo, New York, in 1850. So this is before the turn of the 20th century. The founders were John Butterfield and William Fargo, as well as Henry Wells. Their thought process was to create this express mail system that would, have communications distributed throughout the growing country at the time. And it flourished as a monopoly because there were not too many express mail companies at that time. And, the railroad system was owned by a few people at the time. And so, American Express really did have this movement of New York Express shipments under their thumb, with no really other competitors in the market. It wasn't until there was some government regulation at the turn of the 20th century. William Gibbs McAdoo, the U.S. Treasury Secretary at the time, was given the job of consolidating all of the railroad contracts into one entity. Well, that kind of canceled the business for American Express, since that's what they were in the market for, the railroad systems and express mail systems. So when the country decided to go ahead and consolidate all of those into one entity, one single entity, American Express was actually closed for some time. And it's not a fact that not too many people are aware of these days. American Express is always thought of as being this prestigious, exclusive brand. But at one time, at the turn of the 20th century, they had to close their doors for a short while. They were actually responsible for the foundation of the Wells Fargo Company, as well as the Pony Express. We all know Wells Fargo Company to be the banking institution that we all know today. But the Pony Express, United States Mail, that is where you had these scrawny little guys running on horseback, delivering mail clear across the country. That was their job. Today we simply pick up a phone and send a text message, and someone halfway across the world would have it in less than 10 seconds. But this was actually a legitimate business where they had to have mail delivered via horseback, and so American Express is responsible for that, as well as Wells Fargo Company. Another thing that American Express is very well known for is the introduction of the traveler's checks. At the time, cash could only be found at the turn of the 20th century in major cities. And it's very difficult if you're in rural areas or traveling abroad, to gain, finances, that were near you. And so J.C. Fargo actually traveled to Europe shortly after the turn of the 20th century. And, here he is, the president of American Express, and he's got all of his letters of credit with him. He's traveling around with them, and he is still finding it very difficult in Europe to find cash. And so needless to say, he came back to the United States a little bit frustrated and decided that his company needed to come up with a solution to this problem. And so that's where we have the introduction of the traveler's checks. These traveler's checks could be purchased in advance for certain amounts, and then they would give you the finances if you were traveling. Really, really great innovation, still used today. And again, American Express, they were the originators for that idea. We're going to go ahead and jump into our concept section. Again, this section will be broken up between myself and Zenaida. I'll cover a couple of concepts, and then she'll cover the other portion in her video. We're going to start off with the business model for American Express. Now, American Express is a credit financial services company. And so very much like other credit card systems, they have a business model where they actually, if you're looking here at the graph that we have here, American Express card members are giving their money to the member services. And so in exchange for that funds and the information, the member services shares that with the American Express. And then, the American Express card member goes to the business, the merchant at the time, and they're actually giving them a transfer of information with the use of the credit card. Well, then that business then goes to the payment processor and exchanges information with the payment processor of which member spent money in their store, and then that's where American Express is able to transfer the information of funds to the payment processor, which then ends up back to the merchant. Lots of credit card companies do this, Visa, MasterCard, and Discover. But again, American Express is a little bit more exclusive. It can't really not just anyone can apply for an American Express card. And so once you're able to become a member, it's a pretty big deal. They have a huge range of products. This goes to the scope of American Express. The scope of a business is their mix of businesses, where they're positioned in geographically in their market, and the range of products and services that they have. And as you can see here, American Express has tons of charge cards and credit card products to offer their members. The three most popular are these three here: the American Express Green Card, the Platinum Card from American Express, and then we have the Premium Rewards Gold Card from American Express. All very, 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 again, very recognizable for most of us here. They even have the Centurion Black Card, which has an annual fee of like $2,500, and it's $1,000, not $2,500. But it's very exclusive, and you have to go through an extensive application process just to even be considered for this card. So again, American Express is a very, very exclusive company. And so we're going to end my portion of the presentation here. And again, Zenaida will pick it up with the continuation of our concepts. And then she'll also go into the rest of the information regarding the vision statement, mission statement, and SWOT analysis. Again, my name is Deldrick Como, and I'm presenting for the business strategy course, our company analysis over American Express. And thank you. Hope you have a great day.